What's going on? It's Wednesday. Look at me. Look at me. Don't cry because this is our last full tournament of the year, okay? Smile because we had a season together, okay? And the best part about PGA is it has like a 3-week off season, and then we're right back at it in January. So cheer the fuck up. We're going to have more golf than you can handle. Find something to do for like the next 3 weeks and we'll be fine, okay? Golf will be right back before you know it, and at least they're ending on a doozy. This is a nice full-filled tournament, and the big guy's excited. I'm here to get you excited and also here to help you to quit stepping on your own dick because DFS is hard and you probably don't even know it. And PGS in particular is real hard. What's up, new guy? My name's James, better known as the Degenerate75. I'm a DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at DFS because, as I've already stated, this shit be tough. I'm not going to do it with my core plays and picks and all that stupid touty bullshit. I am going to do it with a little thing called the process. I'm going to walk you a little bit about what the things I look at, how I do things, and you can take as much or as little as you want. If you find you like the cut of my jib, come check out that schedule right there. I do this show every Wednesday. Well, every Wednesday that there's a golf tournament. But I also do NFL, college football, and soon to be, coming in 2024, NASCAR, and prop bets. So be looking out for all of that. I'm a sweaty tryhard. You'll never meet anybody who cares more about this stuff than I do. Look at this. I think I'm already sweating. It feels like it's already. Let me turn the fan on myself here. Goodness gracious, this is my number one fan over there. Not you, guy in the back. You sit down. Let's get going. First up, make sure you're hitting that like button. I already see we're giving away one ticket because we're already at like 50 likes. Unbelievable. Every 50 likes we get, I'll give away another ticket. We'll toss it in the main contest, which honestly, I probably need to go reserve right now because last I looked, these motherfathers are filling fast. So let me go golf, classic, RSM and reserve seats. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Got some reserved for. Ooh, $25. I'm giving away $25 tickets. Not a pour. The big guy, not a pour. All right, but hey, we got to hit that like button. All you got to do to be in the drawing, simply ask a question over there. You ask more than two, I will tell the editor to boot your ass and never let you come back unless you write me a 52-page apology letter, of which I will not read. All right. Simple question, new guy. You gotta get accustomed to the traditions around here, okay? This is a show like no other, right? Just like the Masters. Have you made your lineups yet? You have. Every new guy has. Don't lie to me. You have. How can you make your lineups before you know everything you need to do or everything you need to know before making your lineups, you donkey dick, all right? Quit being so impatient. You gotta get all this information. You can make them during the show, preferably after. That's my advice for you moving forward. We will be spending many Wednesday nights together. Get your shit right, bro. Get your shit right, all right? Let's talk a little contest selection. As you can see, I've got DraftKings up here. Hi, man, why you always talk about DraftKings and not FanDuel? Because I'll tell you what, I quit on FanDuel and FanDuel quit on PGA, all right? Their contests are a joke. If you want to know the structure of their contest, let me just go ahead and tell you. Shitty, 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 pathetic, shitty. There you go. I just went over every single one of their main contests. So for all of you that want me to do FanDuel content, there you go. As for DraftKings, they put up some good contests this week. They really did. The big $5, the drive the green was $100,000, $25,000 to first. That bitch was filled up by 4 o'clock. I legit barely got my 150 in there. Like there was less than 500 spots left when I grabbed my 150. I could not believe it was almost full. Shockingly, just shocking that DraftKings underestimates the interest of PGA DFS. People love PGA DFS, especially when it's a full field, and especially whenever like there's golfers in it they've heard of, right? You know it's a good field when like Taylor Pendrith's $7,600, right? Taylor Pendrith's not $9,900 this week. He's $7,600. That's probably a sign it's a pretty solid field, right? So with that in mind, like DraftKings, make better contests. Golly. You know, I got a couple buddies over at DraftKings, and I try to keep it cordial with them. They take care of me, but I got to be a man of the people. And these contests filling this early, one swift kick of the dick for you, okay? One swift kick of the dick. You're like, well, I already know what the main guy's going to tell me. Well, the $25 still not filled, and we're only 12 hours away from lock. I'm not talking about that piece of shit contest. I'm talking about the ones that people like, the well-structured one, the $10 18 max, the $5 drive the green, the $200 single entry, the $44 club twirl. They're all gone. They've been gone for hours. That's what I'm talking about, DraftKings, not this piece of shit right here that I only play in when I give tickets away to people, you motherfathers. I know you're watching. I like you. C. I like you, C, but be better. Be better. All right, so contest selection, what do you want me to tell you? Here's what I'll tell you. Go hurry up. Oh, wait, they do have my $10 18 max. All right, see, I take that one back, but the other three you're still on the line for. They have it back. I didn't even see this, swear to God. I'm too busy slandering to just see the answer. This is probably the best structured contest still out there. I go get in it. As you can see, it only has less than 400 spots left, so I go be reserving them spots right meow. Okay, right meow. All right. Don't forget Showdown this week, man. It's going to be a pretty good week for Showdown because anytime there's 2 or 3 courses, which, by the way, we're going to be seeing a lot over the next 2 months because when it comes back in January, we'll be seeing this again as this time of year, as the Earth, I believe, is like tilted away from the sun. We don't get as much sun in this hemisphere. And because we don't get as much sun in this hemisphere, there's shorter amount of sunlight. And when there's shorter amount of sunlight, you can't get a full 156 players through a full round on one course. So we're going to see a lot of these multiple courses because you can get everybody in that way. You see why they do that? All right. If you're like, I hate these double courses. Well, then you hate this. You hate the equinox, brother. Or is this the solstice? You hate the winter solstice is what you're really trying to say. A lot of you are like, what he just call me? All right, move on. Read a book. All right, we're going on. Hey, new guy, next question. What's the first thing we always check at PGA DFS? Nope. It's the weather. And for all of you who are like, yeah, you spend so much time bragging about your fancy weather and saying there's going to be a PM AM wave edge, and none of it matters. Here's the numbers from last week. Okay, I'll be the first to admit, 1.54 was more than I was anticipating. I told you I guessed about a half of a stroke to maybe 3/4 of a stroke is what I was guessing. It ended up being more than that. But I also said this. I also said if there is a wave edge, it will definitively be PM AM. There was no way it will be AM PM. And it ended up being a full stroke and a half one way or the other. For all of you that are dumb, one of the biggest edge you ever get at PGA is when you get these big wave edges like this, right? Your guys got to play on a course that was 1.5 strokes easier over 2 days. That is ginormous, right? And you're like, that ain't that much. I play with my buddies. That ain't that much. Okay, first of all, quit talking like that. Second of all, just look right there. What do I always tell you? It affects the cheap guys the most. Those guys right there under $7,500, if they came from the PMAM wave, they were 66% to make the cut, right? The guys from the bad wave, only 33%. So do you want your guys to be twice as likely to make the cut? Yeah, you probably do. You should have been playing PMAM guys. So with that in mind, let's go check some weather. New guy. All right, look at that. Already up to 72 likes. Let's go. Let me get a swig of the Perrier. Big guys parched tonight. Perrier smacks. Not quite like a cold brew smacks in the morning, but it still smacks at night. All right, here you go. You can see, as always, for the 24-hour, we're going to be looking at Okay, I am fancy. I can afford the $18 a year. No slapdick wind finder on this channel, okay? We use Windy, and we pay a premium because nothing but the best for you guys. As you can see, Thursday looks a bit splotchier, right? I've seen it bouncing back and forth, and it looks like it's going to be less windy on Thursday than it is on Friday, right? Because when you switch over to NAM, you see Friday, it looks like it's going to be pretty steady all day, getting up to 30, okay? So we're going to work with the assumption that Thursday is going to be, moderate winds, and Friday is going to be a little bit more kicky in the dick wind, okay? And so when we have that, well, this puts us in a tough situation because if you don't know, they're going off on 2 courses, and these 2 courses are not equal. One is called the Seaside course. That's the one where they'll play 3 rounds at, right? You'll play one of your first 2 rounds there, and then they will also play Saturday and Sunday there, right? The other one is the Plantation course. So it's shocking that the one named the Plantation course only gets 1 round. And on the Plantation course, they will only play that course once, either on their Thursday or Friday round, you see? So the thing is these courses are not the same. Seaside is a par 70. Plantation is a par 72. Seaside is a course that typically plays a hair tougher. Plantation plays a hair easier. Not to mention, it has 2 more par 5s, and par 5s where professionals score a lot, right? So if you're playing Showdown, I would really be leaning into Plantation course for nothing else than for that it has 2 more par 5s, right? And it's a little bit easier scoring. But we're here to talk week long, right? AKA kick in the nuts, all right? Because we all love a good kick in the nuts, even in November at golf. And this is where it gets a little tricky, right? Here's what I would tell you. Let's say that Thursday was going to be nice, okay? And Friday was going to be brutal. I would probably tell you that I would rather have my guys in the nice conditions on Plantation and then in the worst conditions on Seaside, which may sound counterintuitive. Why would I want my guys on the harder course in the worst conditions? And the answer is simple, is because if there does end up being really nice weather on Thursday, which it doesn't look like there's going to be, it looks like it's going to be moderate. So I'm just playing devil's advocate here. But if there was going to be nice weather, I would lean Plantation because I want my guys on the nutted course in the nutted conditions, right? So they can go eat there. And then Friday afternoon or Friday when they play their round at Seaside in the more wind, well, now they just got to grind, right? It's a lot easier to grind than it is to go just rack up birdies when it's in non-mint conditions. However, that is not the case, right? What we're seeing here is that it's probably going to be medium difficulty on Thursday and really difficult on Friday if these winds hold up. And so with that, you have to ask yourself this question. Do you want your guy on the easier course, the Plantation course on Thursday, and when the conditions are going to be a little bit easier, so they'll probably do more scoring there? Or do you want to have your guys on the Plantation course on Friday in the tougher conditions, and they probably won't get their ass kicked near as much, right? They probably won't score as well as the guys Thursday did, but they also probably won't be putting up 78s. And once you answer that question, well, then I think you can see which way you should lean. If you should lean towards these guys who start out Plantation, the guys that start Plantation and then play Seaside Friday, is a lot of the big names that you're probably looking at playing, right? Who else over there? You got Siwoo Kim, Batia. There, I thought it was like Aberg. Where the hell's the big names at? Or there we go. Jaeger, Connors, Cam Young, Aberg, Harmon, Kirk, Todd. A lot of those guys are playing that one, right? And I think that Friday will be the tougher conditions. Do you want your guys at the easier course, Plantation, or the harder course in the worst conditions? Only you know the answer to that, right? We don't have a ton of evidence to prove this, so all we can do is really speculate. I typically would say I want on the easier day my guys at the easier course so they can go get theirs and then hold their nutsack on the other day. If you buy that logic, well, then you would want these guys right here. You'd want the Plantation and then the Seaside. You want Plantation Thursday, Seaside Friday. But if you buy it the other way and you want your guys to have a chance to not just completely get annihilated Friday because they're on the easier course, well, then you probably want your guys on Seaside on Thursday and then have them play Plantation on Friday, as I'm pretty confident that the weather is going to be worse on Friday than it is going to be on Thursday, okay? I hope you can keep up with all of this. If all of this is blowing your mind, well, first of all, I don't think you're particularly smart. And second of all, I think that, this is the kind of shit you got to do if you ever want to try to find an edge at PGA DFS, because I'm telling you, this is a hard-ass sport, and trying to grind out any edge you can is super important. So that's all I got for weather. Let's move on to ownership. Hey, for all of you guys the chalk always gets there, man. Well, I hate this PGA because chalk always gets there. No, it doesn't, dickhead. Okay, here was some chalk bombs from last week. One from every section. Up high, we had Smalley, T30. Ooh, Brandon Wu. My guy. I made him popular. You're welcome. I steamed him up. He got real popular. T30 and Smotherman, the donkey chalk down low that I said never play those guys, T59. Ooh, right? So as you can see, they did outperform some of the pivots, but the point is that even if your chalky guys did well, you're still sharing them with 25% of the field. How far is that going to get you, Bob? Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. It's not all about pivoting off of every player. It's about strategically pivoting, knowing what is abhorrent chalk and what is acceptable chalk, okay? And that is what I am going to do next. I am going to show you who the chalky guys are this week, right? I have three terms, right? I have donkey chalk. You can see I'm literally wearing the donkey chalk hat. We have chalk, which means I don't love it, but it's a little chalky. And then there's just okay chalk. I don't even really consider it chalk, but people in this industry constantly use the term incorrectly, so I have to identify it as chalk because it's on my top 10 list. So let's break down the 10 most highest owned players and one honorable mention of the most owned, and I'm going to break them down into chalk. And just remember one thing, just because they're donkey chalk doesn't mean you can't play them. It just means you need to be aware of what they do to your lineup and your player pool when you put them in there, okay? Because if you play these donkey chalk guys, that's fine. But if you have four of them in a lineup together, just let me go ahead and tell you the ending of this story. You gonna lose. All right, here we go. I mean, you're probably gonna lose anyways, but you definitely gonna lose. You playing four donkey chalk guys together. Damn, already 96 likes, 153 people. Let's go. Another swing of the Perrier to celebrate all the likes. All right, here we go. First up, he doesn't wear polos. He wears Henleys. Russell Henley is up at 9,700. He's underpriced. He's from this part of the country. He is, this course is just designed for him. A little medium, iron, short to medium iron, second shots hit the fairway. Russell Henley just gets off to these courses, right? He just walks up to it and just he has to carry 3 pairs of underwear on the course. A lot of people don't know that about him. At this course only. Russell Henley, as you can see, I ran my projections earlier, and I had to squint and be like, am I reading this right? Just exploding off the page on projections. The projections love him, and when projections love him, optimizers love him. When optimizers love him, people love him. In 9,700, he's underpriced. He is coming in at 28%, 5% clear of anybody else in this field. Holy bojolies, right? But at the end of the day, the guy's 28%, and I don't care if Jesus himself is 28%. That doesn't change the fact that man is The man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. We don't do that except if they're going to win. Then we give it a little consideration because I have read a study that said that having the winner in your PGA lineups will help your lineups. I have read that. Just sit down. All right, next up, old Iceberg, Ludwig Iceberg. Okay, because he's going to wreck your lineups if you fade him. You see what I did there? So, Oberg is up, and he is $10,900, the most expensive player. But I'm telling you, Price is right. Best by pricing, as Tambo would say, he is just under that magical $11,000 threshold. He is pretty pricey, but when you realize that everybody in the 10,000s is basically above 20%, he's really not that crazy out of line. So I'm going to be in a good mood, and I'm going to give Oberg just... I don't love it. That's a little high, but it does not meet the qualifications of donkey chalk, right? On the same token, Brian Harman, who barely can even ride the roller coasters around that area, he is still coming in at over 20%, right? He's just a little bit taller than the 20% mark. Only time he's ever been taller than anything, and you can see that he's also just right there in that same range. He is not disgustingly involved. A lot of the ownership that Iceberg and Harman are getting is very simple, right? It's very simple. It's just that they are the two of the three highest priced guys. And what do people do? They spend their money. And when you spend your money, you're going to spend it on the highest priced guys. So, Brian Harman, you are, I don't love it. Little chalky, but I'm going to give you a pass, okay? Corey Connors, I think, just because he's sandwiched between Harman and sandwiched between our boy Henley, right? He's kind of getting squeezed a little bit, and he's still very chalky, right? But because he's right by two guys that are almost the same ownership, if not a little bit higher than him, we have to be a man of incredible integrity. He may have eyes that look like Pennywise down in the gutter about to just swallow up a small child, but that doesn't matter. Corey Connors, that man, he's chalk, all right? A lot of all right, I'm not saying you can't play these guys. I'm just saying, pump the brakes a little bit on them, okay? Just be like, am I really that committed to it, all right? All right, I know, hey, we're down in the South, and if you know in the South, they don't love solar, they love coal, all right? And Eric Cole coming in at a smooth 19%, but the problem with Eric Cole is he starts to get into a new range. He's more in that 8 to 9K range, as he's the bottom 9K player. And because of that, he has to live to a certain scrutiny that is quite a bit different. When you look at the guys directly above him and below him, they're both coming in at 9, 10, 11%, yet here he is at 19%. So it is that man, Eric Cole, that man... The man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. We don't play it. Except when we do. This is in the South, and they run on coal. Okay, they run on coal. Moving on, Mr. Svensson. This is one, oh, man. I'm about to just be a huge hypocrite here. I think I'm just going to call an audible right now, all right? I am. Hot route. Okay, here we go. This is not what I did on the one earlier, but I'm feeling saucy, and it's my show last time I checked. So, Adam Svensson coming in at 17%. If I were doing my Moonwalk guys and my Steam guys, I think he's the guy that gets Steams up tonight. I've heard a lot of people talking about Adam Svensson. Maybe it's because he has three S's in his name, two of them back-to-back. That's big news right there. And so because of that, I think he's going to get closer to 20%, and I want to not feel like a hypocrite when I do this right here. That man, Adam Svensson, the man's donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. We don't do that one, especially when we're being incredibly inconsistent. We don't do that, okay? Moving on, Cam Young. Look, I know Cam Young screwed me last week, screwed you last week. He's not cool, right? I don't like leprechauns, right? Unless you're in my cereal with some marshmallows, I'm out on the leprechauns, okay? But, at 17%, I really don't even call him chalk. He's actually quite a bit lower than everybody else up there, so I think I'm actually going to give Cam Young, he's just okay chalk, right? If you want to play him, I don't even consider that chalk, right? I give him a buy. That's not really that bad, okay? Moving on from there, we got old JT the postman, a little high, but, not too high. So I'm going to give old JT Poston. He's not donkey chalk. He's more, it's a little high, but, that's not too bad, right? I can't call you donkey chalk because he's pretty in line with most of the people in that 9K range, right? And that's what we're looking for. What really defines chalk is how out of line your ownership is compared to your peers around you in the pricing. From there, we get to Taylor Pendrith, Mr. Swing Season himself, right? This happens. I fell for this game last year. Last swing season, he was an animal, and I was like, he's going to tear it up in 12-3, and then he didn't, right? Well, now he's back this swing season. He's playing great, and I'm not going to fall for this trap. He is good in the swing season. He is not good in the regular season, but this week he'll be very good, and because of that, he'll be very popular, and because of that, it's 7,600. When you're over 15% at 7,600, you already know what this is going to be. That man, man be
The man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey
We
Chalk.
don't do it. Guy in the back, do we play it? Very good. Not in the 7Ks. Look at guy in the back from the dead. Look, I'm proud of you, big guy. Proud of him back there. You know, he's got a lot going on. Brennan Todd, you know, once again, not the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life, but his ownership is decent, right? A lot better than his face. Because of that, I'm gonna give him a pat. No, he's probably I don't love it. Okay. And then lastly, 11%. Once you're at double digits down in the lower 7Ks, once again, I'm just going to change what I said earlier. I hate to be this guy. I love Mark Hubbard. He's underpriced. He should be 8,000 in this field. I don't give a shit. He's 11% in the low 7Ks. That is, by definition, that man.
The man's Donkey Chalk, and we don't play Donkey Chalk.
We don't do that. There you go, guys. That is a breakdown. Remember, just because somebody's Donkey Chalk doesn't mean you can't play him. Doesn't mean you're an idiot if you do play him. It just means you're an idiot if you play them and you don't consider what they're doing to your lineup or your player pool. So be aware of what you're doing. Understand that every player's ownership dramatically impacts the value of that player. Their ownership is so much more important than your feeling if you think they're going to do good or bad, okay? So remember that. Whenever you are making your lineups, it is okay. If you were convinced that Russell Henley is going to play Russell frickin' Henley. Just don't go playing with all those other guys in the red, okay? It's not rocket science. All right, that's it. That is ownership. Let's get going. Before we do, hey, did you know that this guy right here, the sweatiest tryhard you'll ever meet, does projections for main slate, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4 showdown, NFL showdown, college football showdown, NASCAR, and I put them all right here on a little thing called the Solver. And if you want to get all of my projections and an optimizer, which if you don't know, new guy, optimizers are the thing that help you make the best versions of your lineup. I'm doing 150 lineups tonight. The thought of doing 150 lineups without this bad boy making the best versions of my player pool, I think I would rather jump off of a 20-story building. I think I would rather do that, okay? Because that's a lot of work to hand build 150 lineups. But I have this, and I have my projections to go off of, and I'm a sweaty tryhard, so I trust my projections. You're thinking, man, I'm just a casual. I can't afford that shit. You can have my projections and my ownership all loaded into the solver where you can use the solver and you can have all that for $24.99 a month so long as you use that little showdown hoedown symbol when you sign up, right? There's got to be a way for you guys that are casual players to be able to have the same tools that the good players have without being price gouged. You shouldn't have to play hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month to pay DFS, to get somebody's projections, to get somebody's stupid fucking picks, and to get somebody's optimizer, okay? So you can have all of it for $24.99. This is the way of the future. This is the way that you can be competitive, feel like you're not giving up too much of an edge, and still be able to play DFS on a budget and have fun with it, which is the whole freaking point, dude. Man, the viewership's all over the place tonight, editor. I think we lost some connection or something. All right, let's get over to the model. The model's life. Let me get a quick drink. I'm parched. All right. Some things I looked at this week, just DK scoring. Obviously, on if I think the winning score is going to be around -20, we're going to need guys to put the little ball in the cup in a stroke or two under par. There's a lot of those par fours from 400 to 450 yards. I looked at those. Bermuda putting is very important this week as they're on Bermuda greens. And in years past, this has turned into a putting contest. I looked at soft greens. With all this rain, I think these guys are going to be out there throwing darts everywhere. So we are going to want to have that. Opportunities gained. You're going to need to be these guys. There's huge greens and regulations here. You're going to need to be throwing it at the flagstick within 15 feet and giving yourself birdie looks. 2 key proximity ranges: that 125 to 150, 150 to 175. Short 70s. Who scores well on short 70s? And I put course history on there just so I could make my sleepers this morning. Let's go look at it. As you can see, number one in the model. You ready for this one? I always joke that the best player is number one in the model this week. Sam Ryder. What the I don't know what I have no idea how Sam Ryder's number one in the model, but Sam Ryder's number one in the model, right? So there you go. Number 2 is Mr. Solar himself, Eric Solar. And number 3, Russell Henley. Look at that. Russell Henley is number 1 in 4 different stats and number 3 in another one. Fade Russell Henley at your own peril, my friend. Your own peril, my man. So there you go. Here's what I will say. I'm going to just kind of run through these real quick and kind of give you an idea. Up top, I think that most people, I think you're going to see a whole bunch of lineups begin with Russell Henley or Russell Henley as the second guy. And I think you're going to see almost no lineups begin with 2 guys above Russell Henley. So right off the hop, if you want to be different, an Aberg Cam Young, an Aberg Harmon, an Iceberg Connor, Young Harmon, any of those 2 guys above him together will already have you building completely different than everybody else, right? And I also think that a build that no one will consider is starting their lineup with somebody like Noren or Suh or Kim. No one is going to start a lineup with them. I think that 99% of lineups, the lowest guy they will start a lineup with will be Russell Henley. So if you're feeling really, really spicy in big contests and you're okay, go start your lineup with Noren or Poston or Justin Sucks or Siwoo Kim, any of those guys, right? And I'm telling you, the depth of this field can make those lineups viable, and here's why. This 8K range is stacked. I mean, Eric Cole at 9,000, we've already said he's donkey chalk, but damn, that's a good play, right? Denny McCarthy at 8,700. I've not heard a soul just talk about his egregious mispricing. He should be every bit of 9,500 in this field. He's 8,700, and he's not even that popular. Adams Fenton is really good at 8,600. Brennan Todd's really good. Luke List, Keith Mitchell, Batia. I mean, this 8K range is loaded. You can grab 3 or 4 of these guys in a lineup if you're willing to begin your lineup in that range, right? And that will have you building completely different. You will be building a roster so different than everybody else is that you'll already naturally be different, and you won't have to worry as much about the ownership because just by the way you're constructing your roster, you'll be dramatically different. The big pivots up in this range are, of course, going to be Noren, Siwoo Kim, Matt Kuchar. I know it's not in Mexico, so, that's the only time he does well. So when he doesn't have to tip his caddy. These guys are going to be natural pivots, right? Billy Ho is always a pivot. And then you get down here, you're going to start seeing Spawn, Smalley, Kirk are going to get ownership. Ropat, Davis Thompson are going to get it. So then after you know that, then the pivots start to become very obvious, right? Chesson Hadley's overpriced. Take advantage of that and play him. Because he's overpriced doesn't make him a worse player. It just makes him a less owned player, right? Thomas Dietrich, Villegas, Taylor Montgomery, Cam Champ. Nobody is playing these motherfuckers. I mean, legit, all of them are under 5%. So if you're not loving this 7K chalk, there are so many great places to pivot, right? Bing Griffin, a little flop lag. He fucks everybody last week. You know he's going to come back and fuck him again this week with a T3. Adam Schenk is just grossly mispriced, but somehow is not coming in highly owned. He should be every bit of 8,000 in this field. He's at 7,400, and I still have him at single-digit ownership. We already talked about Mark Hubbard and Doug Gim. They're going to be a little popular in this range, but that's just because they're mispriced. But, as you get down here, I'm just going to give you a narrative. Here's my narrative. I like guys from this part of the country. That is my narrative this week, and that's what I'll be running with. Give me guys from this part of the country. So don't forget about guys like Webb Simpson, right? Don't forget about dudes like Chad Ramey. Well, no, Chad Ramey withdrew, so ignore that. Do not forget about guys like Matthew Neesmith. Do not forget about guys like Grayson Sigg. Patton Kazire. Do not forget about old Doc Redman, right? And if you want a real slimy one, old Dirty McGurty down here at 6,200. There are guys from this part of the country that whenever I'm trying to find a sleeper down here, I like to just go find those guys from this part of the country that hang out at Sea Island a lot, that are used to this part of the country, that did not have to do much traveling, who are familiar with this type of course, and are going to go be comfortable there, right? Those are some guys to consider, right? Which now brings me to, hey, 158 people in here. Let's go. Number 1 stream in PGA DFS. I'm just saying, right at everybody's favorite part, where I say the one guy I'm definitely not playing. And the one guy I'm definitely not playing, well, I really wanted to do Russell Henley. I really did, right? But I still haven't convinced myself that I want to fade Russell Henley yet, right? I know he is donkey dick chalk of all donkey dick chalk, but man, can't I just play like a little bit or something? Plus, if the weather comes out tonight and I decide that I want to go with the plantation and then the seaside, or seaside and then the plantation, Russell Henley is the most expensive guy from that wave. So I'm not ready to mark him off. So I could not mark him off, which made it a little bit tougher. So then who's the one guy I'm going to play? Well, I really struggled with this one. And I finally decided on the one guy that I'm not going to play is a guy that I do want to play. Wait, you're not going to play a guy that you want to play? Yeah, because my picks suck just like yours do, and just like that guy that you pay $100 a month for his site, okay? Now, I'm kidding. You pay more than $100 because you're a donkey. So the one guy I'm not playing is a guy in the 7Ks who is chalky. And what have I told you? Fading 7K donkey chalk has just, it's paid my bills for many years, okay? Every once in a while they hit and somebody's like, I thought you said he wasn't going to do well. No, I never said that. I said I'm not playing him, you dipshit. Okay, it's called the one guy I'm not playing, not the one guy that's sure as shit gonna shit the bed. That's not the name of it. So with that, the one guy I'm not playing, a guy that I think is going to probably be fine this week. I think he is a great play, but I just refuse to play 15% on guys in the 7Ks. I made that decision a long time ago. The same rule that I made whenever I said, hey, don't play Jordan Spieth and everybody plays Jordan Spieth, and always play him when nobody else does. And that other rule I made called Patrick Rodgers is a fucking loser, don't ever play him. I have rules in place and they've done me very well. I stay consistent to them, and I'm not going to play a chalky 7K guy. So with that, I hate to say it, Taylor Pendrith, that man, Can't do it. Paulie, what do you think?
Get the fuck out of here.
Sorry, get out of here, Pendrith. We ain't got time for that shit. Which brings me to a more important question. Who is the one guy I'm playing this week? Once again, not the one guy that's going to do well, not the one guy I guarantee you, just the one guy I'm playing. And the one guy I'm playing this week, of course, fits my narrative in that he is from this part of the country. He lives down in this area. He has played this course, I don't know, probably 5,000 times. He is a guy that it fits the course to a T, right? If you need somebody who puts the ball in the fairway, gives himself a lot of chances at birdie, and can roll the rock, that is this guy, right? But being the hardcore host of a PGA DFS show that I am, I started doing a little research into the area. And I found that over the past several years, many small children had went missing around a local bridge, and they could not find where these kids were going. Rumor is something was going on at that bridge, and they weren't sure what it was. And I think I might have found the answer, right? And I think that we've been wrongly blaming the wrong person for too long. I don't think it was him, right? I don't think it was. Plus, I realized that all last month during Halloween season, all I did was watch Ernest Scared Stupid, which is the best Halloween movie ever. I will fight you on this many, many times. And right there it was. The answer existed to me the whole time. The one guy that I definitely need to play this week. Well, I think it's time for a movie clip, pal. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, shit! It's the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid! He just needs unconditional love.
Ernest doesn't understand. It's not the milk.
You don't douse him in milk.
Love,
you gotta give him love. He doesn't want to hide under that bridge and still small children forever. He just needs love. You got to embrace him. You've got to let it go. You got to give him a hug. Even trolls need love. And this week, I'm giving that troll love. Look at that ugly troll. Look at that ugly troll. I'm going to dance with him all night long. You ugly mother father. As long as you put the ball in the cup, I don't care. Hey. The one guy we're definitely playing this week, we're playing that ugly troll, Brennan Todd. Let's go, Brennan. We're playing Brennan. Once again, Brennan Todd's an ugly troll. But he puts the ball in the hole, and that's all I care about. Hey, new guy, come check out my site, dgen75.com, the fastest growing community in PGA DFS. Get in now, because I promise you in 2024, shit's going to take off. So just get in there now. I highly, highly encourage that. It's not about me. You'll never see me or my moderators flexing on our wins to try to get you to come join our site. But we do celebrate all of the people flying the flag and in the community that hit these big hits. You can see we got guys hitting from $5 up to $50,000 all over the place every week. I like to give them a shout out. Just look at all of these unbelievable hits. Thank all of you for flying the flag. Thank all of you for sharing these in the screenshots and making this fun, because all I'm here to do is help you get better at your process, try to make this sustainable, try to make this fun, and most importantly, if you do those two things long enough, you can hit a big one, okay? But you have to realize you're not going to become a professional playing PGA DFS. Lastly, I also offer this tool called the Rosetta Stone, the best tool out there, because there's got to be a place where you can get good tools, good projections, good content, and not be price gouged in this tiny little niche community that we call DFS. This is what I offer over at my website. If you've ever wanted to try it out, just simply go sign up for my newsletter, which is in the link of this video right here. Let the editor or support at DGen know on Twitter, and they will hook you up with a free week on the website. No questions asked, okay? So there you go. Let's get to the drawing. Editor, I see 125 likes. Let's go ahead and draw 2 names right now, and if we get to 150 likes, we will jump up to another one. We'll do another one. So editor's going to draw 2 names from the chat. Make sure you get those questions in. And while he's doing that, I'm going to just remind you guys, come this February, me and Tambo, the Shipper crew, the DGen 75 crew, we're bringing our guys out. We're having a big meetup at the Waste Management. We're going to be at the course Thursday and Friday. No, Friday and Saturday, we're going to be meeting up we're going to have a golf event where we're going to be at a driving range. We're going to meet up at a casino, and we're going to have a big Super Bowl party. We're going to make a big weekend out of it. If you want to watch some golf, you want to be part of PGA DFS, or for God, whatever reason, you just want to meet me and Tambo, come out there. We're just a couple normal dudes and men of the people. So be there. It'll be fun. While the editor, oh, there we go. Why win? Because you chose to win, bud. That's why I win. I think I know who that is. All right, hey, by the way, if you win, make sure to reach out to me on Twitter. If you're on the Discord, reach out to me over there. I'm much easier to reach on Discord than I am on Twitter, because you know what? Fuck Twitter. I don't even really check it. Oh, and Benet. Hey, Benet's coming to friggin' this. We were just working out plans the other day. Benet, I'll build a lineup with Benet. Benet is the dude that I met at the live final in 2021. Hell, he might give me a couple pointers on the lineup tonight, okay? So let's get to some questions. Let's get out of here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm kind of feeling a quick late run to the casino. I haven't played poker in legit like 11 months, and for some reason I woke up today feeling dangerous. I'm like, I need to get to a poker table and just annihilate some bitches. Just fucking 4-bet with like ace deuce offsuit. You know what I'm feeling? I just woke up feeling spicy. All right, Gabriel Brown, what's up, big guy? Appreciate your hard work. Chris Kirk, criminally underpriced in this field. I agree, but there's a lot of guys underpriced, Gabriel, when you think about it. I could name 6 or 7 guys that are criminally underpriced. And so because of that, I would think that he's going to be pretty high owned. And he is a little higher than I'd like. I got him coming in around 12%, but I think if you like Kirk, you don't get off of the captain simply for Captain Kirk, and then because Captain Morgan and he. Okay. Anyways, I don't think you get off of him for that. Why does DK hate us sweaty tryhards? They just don't like fun and or money, Zach. The answer is simple. So if the wind is roughly the same both Thursday and Friday, and we want our favorite players playing the hardest course those 2 days in the rain. Yeah, I kind of forgot. I kind of skipped over the rain because it looks like it's going to be on and off both days, but it does appear as though there's going to be more rain on Friday, right? And so you would have to factor that in, Johnny. And I would say if it's going to be bad both days, then I probably want my guys to get the what? That's a tough one. We don't have a lot of great data on this because we don't see a lot of 2-course splits, and when we do, no one's fucking paying attention to it, so we don't get any great data on this stuff. But just instinctively, if both days are going to be hard and raining both days, I think I would rather have my guys go get the easier course on Thursday, hopefully get a little minimum going, and then just hold on Friday, I think. Hey, guy in the back, did you hit the like yet? Hey, there we go. We're up to 131, Nick. Keep shaming him. Which course is better for Thursday? You're definitely, Plantation's going to probably yield a lot more birdies simply just because there's more par 5s and more easier scoring holes, right? Let's see. Joanne says, thoughts on Henley as your starting point? I think he's a great starting point, Joanne. If you go look at my projections, he is the highest upside projected player in the entire field. But just know, you're not the only one who's going to be thinking that way, Joanne. So you got to ask yourself, if I start with Russell Henley, how am I going to build the rest of my lineup to not be in 1v1s versus hundreds of people? What am I supposed to do until January? Spend the holidays with my family? I know, Dave. I know. I mean, there's going to be some random golf tournaments and stuff, and I'll still be covering them, but, it's not great. It's not great. I agree. Not having golf every Wednesday night is like, why am I even alive? Can little old Norn stay hot? Yeah, I mean, the fact that nobody wants to play Norn, even though he's been playing some really good golf, why not, right? 9,400, I think people are just saying, why would I play Norn? Well, because I play these other guys. And that's a valid question, but Norn's playing well. Who the hell is David Ford? He just an average golfer, drives a Chevrolet, just a normal guy. What's going to be more popular, Stars and Scrubs, or Balance? There's not too many guys, I guess Balance, because there's not a lot of 7K guys down there that are getting a lot of love, and definitely nobody in the 6Ks. What range are we fading this week? To me, I think the one range that I'm kind of willing to fade is this low 8K range, right? Like you see Spawn and Smalley, Batia. These guys are all going to be 10 to 12% ownership. I think that's a range I'm okay fading, right? Because I really like those guys at the upper end of the 8K, and you got to kind of choose one or the other. Are you a believer in the Seaside Island Mafia? I surely am. Is golf more popular than NFL DFS? No, I wish. If everything in the world was perfect, it would be, but not even close. I would venture to say it's not even 1/10 as big. 1/10. Over under on 4 birdies pre-pick. Yeah, I would take probably, with the win tomorrow, probably the under, especially on Seaside. What's up, DJin? Feels like Kisner top 5. Hey, hashtag sleepers while I'm sleepy. Can Horschel actually win? Horschel can win at any course, okay? Especially these shorter ones. How much are weighing in FedEx standings this week? Not at all. I don't even really think about that shit until like August. Thank you for helping us and giving us a chance. What's the better way to look at this week? Course history or recent form? I think I'll just do the little girl from the avocado commercial. Why not both? That's what I would say. Have you hit the like? Some guys that get it. We're pushing hard. We're still trying to steam up to 150. Is Billy Ho going to be your must-play this week? Not in this lifetime, pal. Given several top players have been playing in the fall swing, will you allow 5 extra players in your pool this week? No, I'm still going to keep it pretty tight. And what I like to do, and the reason if I have extra players, it'll just be extra guys up top, Jerry. Guys that I don't mind. Like I might play Corey Connors this week, but I'll probably be underweight on him, right? And the reason I want to do that is those guys up high have so much win equity that I still want to have them in my player pool, but I don't want to also be married to him. Does that make sense? Where should Pendra's salary be? About 8,100, 8,200 would be my guess. He's probably about 500 to 600 underpriced. When you're completely wrong every time with a player, do you just let that's why. Why do you think I hate Patrick Rogers so much? I used to always play that little skinny soy boy. And I've never gotten this guy right. Fuck it, I'll just never play him, and then I'll be right all the time because he sucks. What are your thoughts on Cam Young? Well, he shit the bed last week, screwed everybody over. T3 incoming. Is Eric Cole, we don't play donkey chalk ass, except when we do? Yeah, he's definitely or he could. Except when we do guy, for sure. Are Southern players a thing this week? They are for me, Bob. 20 max, keeping a tight core. If I were to run a 20 max, I would have at most 15 players, 15 to 16 players. The weather, it's pouring in California. Glad it isn't played here. Seaside Island Mafia. All right, nobody cares about California. With as many players as we have this week, is there going to be a bunch of bad chalk? No, I'm actually kind of surprised, Jordan, at how spread out the chalk was, right? Like, I really struggled to even find 4 chalk donkey guys. The ownership is becoming a lot smarter in this industry. Ryder looking great, but the model only making 1 of 7 cuts here. Does that concern you? No, that just means he's due. If playing Showdown tomorrow, would you focus on one course? Yeah, I would definitely lean Plantation course. I definitely would. Just you get those 2 extra par 5s, man, and you get better chances at streaks over there. And we always want to go streaking. While the weather is always in play, does it diminish it a bit considering we're in the swing season? No, I don't think so. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Hoops and Dreams, would you ever consider correlation with Pebble Beach event? Sure. I mean, I don't know what that correlation would be, but, I guess if there's some guy who plays well at those, maybe you could do it. It's a bit of a stretch, but it is probably one of the most comparable tournament styles to this one. Do guys get steamed up more in the fall swing? I don't think so. Because people aren't consuming as much content. I think content's what really drives guys getting steamed up. Denny Week, yes, your favorite slapdick. I mean, yeah, you ain't gonna sell me on a moderately owned Denny McCarthy. Hey, what's the best price range to target on DK single entry? Well, I think it comes down to this. Who do you think's going to win? If you think Oberg's going to win, you got to fucking have him in your lineup, right? If you think Russell Henley's going to win, you got to have him in your lineup. If you don't think any of those guys are going to win and you think Eric Cole's going to win, start your lineup with Eric Cole and then go pick 6 guys below or 5 guys below him. It's always Degen and Topo Chico. What about that thing's editor. Hop on TeamViewer. The thing's showing up again, trying to restart on me. Let's see. It's always Topo Chico. How about Grayson Murray top 10? I can't get there, but he is a Southern boy, so at least he's got that going for him. Does it make sense to factor in P5 scoring on how well you play the weather this week? Well, the problem is Plantation has 4 of them, but Seaside only has 2. So I'm not factoring it in. I would really only be looking at that for Showdown, right? In your opinion, is it smart to avoid players with no tournament stats since the start of the fall season? Well, the problem is a lot of those tournaments they've played have no strokes gained data, so even if they have played in tournaments, we might not be getting any data from it, right? Does the Hobbit win? He certainly could. He's on my list of guys that I'm not fading. Going from there, did you know that Corey Connor's mother was a goat? That's a real reason for the penny eyes. Why? Okay, I didn't know that, Johnny, but it makes a lot of sense. I'm just going to keep reading questions that the editor has stole my mouse. Oh, no, we're live. All right. Batia, top 10 after folding last week. Makes a lot of sense to me. Looking for questions. Do either of these courses have number 1 hole in 18? Yeah, I think if you go off 10 on the Plantation course, you're more likely to get a streak. Good evening, your Maction Mother Father's thought on Ben Coles. Ben Coles 5? He's been nuclear on the Corn Ferry. I mean, I need to see it. Those Corn Ferry guys, I don't like to get too cute on them. But if you got to take on him, go with him because ain't a soul playing that mother father. Are we getting closer to DK respecting us again? Not in this lifetime, pal. Mike says, what part of your process are you looking to improve for the 2024 season? That's a great question, Mike, and I'll reflect on that more in December, right? Because I do kind of make like a New Year's resolution for DFS every year, right? Get out of here. What happened to the F counter? It'll be back in January, Sean. A lot of this stuff is like so hard to get ready for these streams. And with we usually get like 500 people in here during the regular season. When we only have like 150 people, I don't feel like giving up my killing the editor to get everything. So we'll be bringing all that back in January. Okay, don't you worry. How's the iron treating you? Honestly, I haven't swung a club in 2 weeks, so probably not great, bub. Actually, probably really good because when I go a long time without swinging, I somehow go back and remember. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should go to the range. Who the hell said that? Steven, great question, you mother father. Who is Wednesday night steam? I already said I think that Svensson gets steamed up. That would be one. What limits do you play when you play poker at the casino? Okay, so the casino I play at, Fire Lake, it's a 1-2 table, but it plays like a 2-5 because they let you buy in for $500, right? So it's really, it's a 1-2 game to play. You never see a flop for less than 15 is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why they don't just make it 2-5. Probably because when you say 2-5, there's this stigma in people's mind of ooh, but a 1-2 where you buy in for $500 and it's a $15 minimum bring in every time. That's a 2-5 game, bro. That's a 2-5 game. Who in the field is more broken than we think? That's a good question, bro. Taylor Montgomery, perma-broke. Will Villegas keep a hot hand? I don't think so, man. When guys like that win, I'm telling you, it just it has a big emotional impact on him. He will not be ready to go this week. Does the solver have contest sims for PGA yet? I'm pretty sure they do. DFS simulator right there. There you go. There it is. It's up. And you can also use my code for that one, Big Dan T. My Patrick Rogers is Brennan. Yeah, there you go. All right. No steam or hee-haw tonight. No, I'm telling you, a lot of that stuff will be back come January. I'm just trying to slow it down, make these a little bit shorter, try to keep them closer to 45 minutes than to an hour because, I got shit to do. Thoughts on going 3 Plantation Thursday morning and 3 from Plantation Friday morning. Well, they're always going to be in the morning, Joanne. If you're talking for Showdown, I think that's a terrible idea. If you were going for, if we're talking week-long, I think that's fine. All right, guys, I think that's it. We got up to 138 likes. I appreciate all of you coming by, keeping this the most popular stream in PGA DFS. Please remember Rule 3080. Tout sites are shady. I will see you next time, which I guess I'll be back tomorrow for NFL football, Thursday Night Football, breaking it down. Don't forget, I will be on Sia's show and Pat Mayo's show come Friday. So if you like hearing me talk football, you're going to be seeing this chubby-ass face everywhere. It's been real, you mother fathers. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for being here. Good night, you mother father.